Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Beatles Forever. We're going to see what the Beatles were up to on this date of June 28th. There aren't that many things going on during this time period, but what is going on is pretty interesting. First up, Wings visit the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville. This happened on a Friday, the 28th of June, 1974. Wings paid a visit to the Grand Ole Opry House in Nashville, Tennessee on the 28th of June, 1974. This was their second visit to the venue, having attended a show on the 16th of June. On this evening, they also attended a cocktail party before the show in the VIP lounge. The actual show at the Grand Ole Opry was broadcast live on Nashville radio. The McCartneys watched the show backstage. The performers included the Cates sisters, Marcy and Margie, who were subsequently booked to perform at Wings/Linda McCartney session on the 8th of July. UK single release Band on the Run by Paul McCartney and Wings. This happened on a Friday, the 28th of June in 1974. Paul McCartney and Wings single Band on the Run was released in the United Kingdom on the 28th of June, 1974. The single with Zoo Gang on the B-side peaked at number 3 on the UK singles chart. In the USA, Band on the Run was issued with 1985 on the flip side. It was a bigger hit there, topping the U.S. Billboard Hot 100. John Lennon and Yoko Ono moved to 215 Lovell Avenue, Mill Valley. This happened on Wednesday, the 28th of June, 1972. John Lennon and Yoko Ono moved into 215 Lovell Avenue in Mill Valley, California, on the 28th of June, 1972. They had been staying in Ojai since early June, and in the final week decided to move to the Miyako Hotel in San Francisco. Shortly afterwards, they decided to rent a house instead. 215 Lovell Avenue belonged to the Davis family, who had mutual acquaintances with Lennon and Ono. The family was traveling to Mexico for a month and let it be known that the house was available. They viewed the property on 23rd of June and moved in on this day. They remained at the property until early August 1972. Another John Lennon story, John Lennon and Yoko Ono attend custody hearing in New York. This happened on Monday, the 28th of June, 1971. John Lennon and Yoko Ono attended a custody hearing in New York on the 28th of June, 1971. It took place at the New York Supreme Court in Mineola, Nassau County on Long Island, New York. Lennon and Ono were attempting to gain custody of her 7-year-old daughter, Kyoko, and believed her to be in New York State. During the hearing, Lennon and Ono's attorney, Sidney Sibin, told the court that they believed Kyoko was being hidden on board a boat moored off the Bellport in Long Island. The child's paternal grandfather, George Cox, testified to the contrary, telling Justice Albert A. Opigo that she was not in the state. The judge dismissed Ono's suit, telling her that there was no evidence of Kyoko's presence in New York. We have the recording of Good Night. This was done on a Friday, the 28th of June, 1968. Studio 2, EMI Studios, Abbey Road, producer George Martin, engineer Ken Scott. The Beatles began work on Good Night, the White Album's final track, on this day. The session began at 7 p.m. and finished at 4:30 a.m. Wow. The following morning, it began with a number of rehearsals which were committed to tape. One of the rehearsals was included on the 1996 Anthology 3. It features Ringo Starr on vocals, John Lennon playing piano, and George Harrison keeping time on a shaker. The Beatles recorded 5 proper takes of Good Night during this session, featuring just Starr's vocals and Lennon's acoustic guitar. Lead and backing vocals were added onto the last of these on the 2nd of July, 1968. George Harrison is fined for speeding. This happened on a Wednesday, the 28th of June, in 1967. George Harrison received a 6-pound fine on this day for breaking the speed limit in his black Mini Cooper car. He had been caught speeding in the Roehampton Lane, Putney, London. The fine was issued in the city's southwestern court. Then we have Travel Alaska to Tokyo. This happened on a Tuesday, the 28th of June, 1966. Following the Beatles' unscheduled 9-hour stop in Anchorage, Alaska, their long journey to Tokyo continued. Ringo Starr said in Anthology, "Anchorage, Alaska was like a cowboy town to us. It was really like a backwater. My only great memory of Alaska is that at the airport they have a huge, magnificent white bear in a glass case." Ringo Starr was the owner of one of the first portable cassette recorders and spent much of the journey recording conversations of those around him on the aeroplane. The Beatles flew from Anchorage International Airport and landed at Tokyo's Haneda Airport at 3:40 a.m. on the 30th of June. The last story is another travel story from New Zealand to Australia. This happened on a Sunday, the 28th of June, 1964. Having given their final performance in New Zealand the night before, the Beatles flew from Christchurch to Auckland, New Zealand. From there, they caught a connecting Teal flight to Sydney, arriving at 9:30 p.m. Around 4,000 fans at the airport saw the Beatles walk to their charter Ansett ANA Fokker Friendship aeroplane, which left shortly afterwards. And the group arrived in Brisbane, the final destination on their 1964 world tour, just after midnight on the 29th of June. I will end the video here. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you haven't subscribed, if you could do it, it would help the channel to grow, as well as giving a thumbs up. It's all a great help. And if you haven't clicked on the notification bell, if you could do that, it lets you know when a video is posted. More importantly, I want to wish everyone a good day. Tune in again soon for another episode of The Beatles Forever, The Beatles on this Date. Thank you. Bye.